Hey there, this is Behind Closed Doors, and today we're looking at the colour yellow. The key to painting yellow is a good base, and the base we're using here is XV88. Brown's a great colour to work up from when you're painting yellow, and XV88's already got a nice golden hue to it. Yellow has a bit of a reputation as a difficult colour to paint, and it's not completely unfounded, but it's one of my favourite colours to paint. It looks spectacular on the battlefield, and you should all give it a go. The other key to painting yellow is thin coats, because you have to do a lot of layers here, and you don't want any thick or bumpy paint messing things up. You can see there I'm using a wet palette to keep the paint nice and thin, and it's still quite watered down on top of that. And don't forget to do a second coat of XV88, because we're keeping it thin, we want some nice coverage there. Now we're putting some Nuln oil all over everything. And this will just give us some nice dark contrast for the yellow to play off. And also show us clearly where the shading is for when we're highlighting. The wash is dry and it's already looking kind of yellow really. I also went through with a bit of black and neatened up the non-yellow parts just so we can see what we're doing a little better. Now the first highlight is back with the XV88 because we've darkened it quite a bit with the Nuln oil. But this is quite a heavy highlight, and you just want to leave the wash in the deepest crevices. And next we're going to start introducing more yellow with Avalon Sunset. Again, very thin coats, you can always put more on. Now, if you're painting a larger area, or something with a lot of folds like a cape, you might want to blend these layers a bit more with something like a 50-50 mix of Avalon Sunset and XV88. Again with the thin coats. This is actually a gut plate from my Age of Sigmar Ogre army, and I had to paint it yellow anyway, so I thought I'll paint this. I originally was using a sci-fi mini with a jacket that was going to be yellow, kind of like inspired by Jubilee from X-Men, but when I started painting it, the mini had some damage which made it look a bit bumpy, so I had to scrap it because it wouldn't look good, I reckon, with some little bumpy bits. Not in a tutorial about painting yellow. And now we're going to bring the saturation up further with Aerial Yellow. Now the more of this you put on, the more you'll dial up the yellow, so this is a bit of personal choice here. And it's also going to depend on the other colours on the model, so it's always good when you're highlighting before you go to your extreme highlight to just see how it's working with the other colours on the model, you know, if it's kind of clashing or complementing, because sometimes you can change the colour quite a bit with highlights, and then it just doesn't work overall when you look at everything else. I'm mixing some pure white with Aerial Yellow here for a final highlight, but you could also use a bone colour and that would make it a bit more subdued, which can be really good for cloth, something like Ushabti Bone, so give that a try, just depending on the overall tone you want for the yellow. And that's how I paint yellow. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time on Behind Closed Doors.